Good morning and welcome to our series on Proverbs. I'm Pastor Keith Buttram. I'm the lead pastor here at Temple Baptist Church, and we're excited to have you joining with us as we go through this series. This morning we're going to be in Proverbs 28, and we're going to start off in verse 1. So read with me if you would. It says, "The wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are bold as a lion. Because of the transgression of a land, many are its princes. But by a man of understanding and knowledge, right will be prolonged. A poor man who oppresses the poor is like a driving rain which leaves no food." Here in Proverbs 28, we again have the wisdom of Solomon shared with us, the readers. And they're talking off in that first verse kind of about a guilty conscience. We've heard that term before. Usually it has to do with a person that has done something and maybe no one knows about it. Then they start jumping at shadows. They're reacting to things even whenever no one's even talking about them, right? Or directing it at them. Have you ever been at home and you notice that, hey, all the Oreos are gone? One of your kids pipes up, "I didn't eat them all." Well, right, you weren't really accusing them. But you start wondering, well, why would they react that way, right? That's what verse 1 is saying. Because those that are guilty tend to always be on the lookout for someone that is on their tail, they're always concerned. They're always worried. They're always thinking the worst of things because they know they themselves are guilty. In contrast to that, those that have done nothing wrong, they tend really not to worry about those things, right? Because they've got a clear conscience. They can then move through life with a certain amount of confidence because they haven't got anything to be worried about. Then look at verse 2. Again, it says, "Because of the transgression of a land, many are its princes, but by a man of understanding and knowledge, right will be prolonged." When you're looking at a nation and you notice that what is right is considered wrong and what's wrong is considered right, you've got a problem. You're going to see a lot of strife in that nation. You're going to see a lot of strife, especially maybe in the political world. Lots of different people end up vying for power. Now, I don't want to be too accusatory, but I think you could look even at our own nation for that. What was it, 2016? How many Republican candidates for president were there? I think there was about 17 of them, right? And just during this current election cycle, on the Democrat side, there's been as many as maybe 25. Whenever there's a lot going on, a lot of people in conflict. Of course, there's going to be a lot of conflict in the political world, and there's going to be a lot of people that are vying for power. So you're going to have a lot of princes. You're going to have a lot of people constantly in conflict there. However, the second part of that verse points to wisdom and righteousness, to those that are following after those things. That promotes a certain amount of stability and order. Whenever the nation is living right, whenever they're following after wisdom, whenever they're not all topsy-turvy in their thoughts of what's right and wrong, you're going to more likely to have a stable place and there's going to be more order. Then in verse 3, you start talking about a poor person that comes into power and then begins to oppress other less fortunate people. And when that happens, what does it say? It says, it's like a driving rain which leaves no food, right? It's like a thunderstorm that washes away the crops rather than watering them. For someone who have completely forgotten their own plight, their own difficulties, and to turn around and to have no empathy for those that are still struggling, well, it steals hope rather than encourages wisdom and hard work. And when you have someone that's in that situation, it really makes life miserable for those that are still struggling. But rather than looking down on them or making that life miserable for them, those that have managed to move out of that, all right, have done something different, should be the encouragement for them, right? They should be the helping hand that they need to make some new changes in their lives. We can't be the ones that turn around and forget where we've come from and look down on those people that are still in that situation. That's kind of how this whole chapter goes, chapter 28. It's a study in contrast, right? You've got the wicked and you've got the upright. You've got the leaders of a righteous nation and you've got those that are leading an unrighteous nation. And then you've got the poor that becomes rich, but then turns around and oppresses other poor. So I wonder which one of those describes our life today, right? Are we the ones that are living a life of wisdom and righteousness, or is it of foolishness and wickedness? I think we want to be the ones that are living a life of wisdom and righteousness. That's where we need to be. Thank you for joining me this morning. I would encourage you today to read the rest of Proverbs chapter 28. See what other nuggets of wisdom that you can pull out of that, because it's full of them. Maybe even share some of those with us in the comments today. Thank you for being with us. We look forward to seeing you soon.